live, just getting some things set up for the live stream. But we should be getting started properly in just a moment. We are hanging out around Newport right now because my big goal for the stream is to do a couple of farmhouses and farms. Newport started off with 0 farms, and then I came in and did a couple, and then I felt like, oh, this place would really make a lot more sense and feel a lot more like the capital of the world if it had a bunch of farms. So now we have ended up in the space where Newport is getting more and more farms. I think this kind of flat-ish area here would be a good place to start. So we are going to clear out a little bit of the land using the Axiom mod. I have a custom kind of, I don't want to say script set up, but well, basically I just set my active block to air, and then I kind of paint everything that is selected. And everything that is selected is in here. It's called land clearing. So it basically just lets me get rid of all these trees and grass and bushes and stuff, although it doesn't work very well with flowers, unfortunately. But this is how we are going to start, just clearing out a little bit of land so that we can work without things getting too close up and stuck to the trees. I know I technically have some music playing in the background here, but I cannot hear for the life of me. So I think I'm going to raise my volume a bit. There we go. It's kind of in the background. Still pretty quiet though. This is just going to be a pretty low-key stream. My plan is to go until probably like 5:30, maybe 6. Mostly I just wanted to get back in. I know I've been away for a little bit, and the last video did not get seen by a lot of people. So for some people, the video that I uploaded today is the first one they've seen of me in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So yeah, it's good to get back in. And if you guys have questions about interiors or about Tretogor or anything like that in the chat, feel free to drop them. We do have some of the Minecraft music playing in another tab, and I've tried to only pick the new songs because I don't know if you guys know anything about like copyright stuff, but the old C418 Minecraft tracks are technically kind of still owned by C418, who is a great composer, but unfortunately that kind of means I can't really play them in the game without getting some takedown notices and stuff. So yeah, I only really play with the newer Minecraft songs now when I try to do streams and videos like this. Thinking of clearing out this whole little bit here. I don't want to get too close to there though with the brush, because otherwise I'm going to start destroying that building a little bit, because it has like mossy flowers and stuff. But I think it's good to clear out some of this land near the town anyway, because the trees were a little bit close, if we're being honest. There we go. Just giving ourselves a little bit of breathing room. And I'm sure the town guards appreciate it too, that we're kind of freeing up this space, pushing back the tree line a bit. The new music they dropped recently is fantastic. I've been listening to it. I really like the composer, Amos Roddy, I think it's pronounced. I have no clue. But I love the work that that composer did on the Kingdom games, and I think it's called Star Alliance. But anyway, yeah, the new tracks are fire. I really like them. Tears or Tear is the one that I haven't really listened to a lot, but the kind of generic ambient tracks I've been listening to quite a bit. All right, I think I'm gonna get rid of these 2 trees. You can probably hear an ambulance in the background right now. Or a fire truck, I'm not sure. They built a fire station near my house like a year ago, and now we hear sirens every day, which is fun, although it is technically safer. I think we are going to come in here, get rid of these flowers. and start kind of smoothing out the land a little bit because it's a bit steep for farming, I feel. And I think we can probably fit in 2 little farms here. It's not a ton of space, so maybe I'll do like a farm and a little pasture for grazing. I think up there is probably a good spot for a farmhouse. So why don't we take our wool and block that out a little bit. We're above this natural cliff, so I might make a cellar in here instead of smoothing it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And bringing it back. Right now it's a little bit boring, so I'm trying to mimic this style, but I haven't built like this in literally years, so it's a bit of a challenge. I see some L shapes. I see a lot of straight buildings. This is kind of cool, having a roof that kind of dips up like that. They're sending the fire trucks because your builds are fire. Thank you. Hopefully whoever that's actually for is not having their house burnt down right now, because that would suck. Okay, so why don't we come in here with, again, trying to respect the palette of the original build, so going in with a lot of these grays. Like so. If we come around, I think we're probably going to do 1 layer of foundation, and then this bit is going to be wood. Or could make it something like that. I think there is a greenhouse here. Like a literal greenhouse, that's what I mean. So why don't we make this one up here green? Kind of blend it into the forest a bit, make it a bit less obtrusive. Something like that. And we can come in here. And if we do 2 windows, we can do one. Oh, that doesn't really work super well. Hold on. I'm sure we can figure this out. All right, it's a bit of a weird one, but new things being added to Newport. Yes, sir. I'm trying to make this place feel a bit more deserving of its status as the capital, basically. And I kind of realized this is a bit far from the edge, so I'm gonna clear my, whoops, that's not ideal. Okay, we're gonna clear the selection, come back in, and we're literally just gonna move the whole house 1 block forward. There we go. Like so. There we are. We need to patch this up. There, it'll be something like that. Like I said, I think we're gonna go for the green look. Gonna do another pillar in there, and I realize I'm kind of stuck building on 4s now because I built this on a 9. There we go. This is really messed up. I should not have built it like this. Okay, second change being made. We're just gonna stretch it out a little bit. Okay, that's gonna go out by 2. We're gonna take this And not that. This is probably the best thing I like about, like, the thing that makes the biggest difference for using Axiom to build stuff is you can just change how things are looking if you're not satisfied with them. And that's a really important part of Minecraft, is to actually be able to kind of accept your own criticism, I guess, and figure out where you need to change things. Oh, okay. It's a little bit... I wouldn't have built like this like 5 years ago, but I think just doing something like that might work, or maybe something a little bit darker green. Green terracotta. There we go. Just to kind of imply a little bit more shadow than there really is. That's because of that. Basically freezing blocks so that they don't fall on top of your head. Hello, Uncle Bye in the chat. Love that shade of green. Yeah, it's nice. We are very much spoiled for choice for green blocks in the game. The only thing we're really missing badly is a good green slab. Because if you look at the green slabs we have, it's really pale green or really grayish green. Or this, which I guess is... This is technically green, but I mean, you wouldn't... It's really hard to build with. Compared to something like this, which is a very nice, easy color to work with. We are going to come in here and do the interior. I'm not going to do it exactly like I showed in the interior guide today, specifically because that fits a little bit more for, I would say, a big complex interior, and this one is meant to be very simple. So we are still going to try and follow the same kind of like logic, but it's going to work out very differently than it did in the actual video. Lacking a lot of colors for slabs? Yes. The big one is, well, the other big one for me is blue. I would love to have blue slabs, stairs, and walls. It would make such a huge difference. I can show you the closest we can get for blue is basically this, which kind of works, but this changes colors. That's the one thing I don't like about using Prismarine, is that it cycles through from blue to green, which makes it really annoying to build with for me. See, now it's going green and it's getting closer to that. Not that I don't like that we have like dynamic blocks in Minecraft. It's just really hard to build with from like the perspective of somebody who wants very precise, stable colors. There we go. It's a pretty simple overhang. Like I said, we're trying to mimic a kind of simpler style that I used to build with. Like so. We're probably going to bring this roof line across and then tie this in. This roof here is going to be spruce, as most of the roofs in this region of the world are. Just like that, this is the kind of basic shell for this house. Obviously it's not done, but this is the kind of This is like the most basic version of a Minecraft house. You can see I'm kind of bouncing around between different parts of it just because of it's something I've kind of done like a million times, like do a generic Minecraft farmhouse. So I'm trying to go through it very quickly, I guess. I think we need greenwood. Bamboo was such a missed opportunity. Yeah. Bamboo is also tough because the actual bamboo is like super greeny. And if you want to actually combine it with, I mean, okay, first of all, these are like the yellow Minecraft blocks. And you can see like none of them blend together at all. This one and this one are a little bit close, but we have a bunch of different shades of yellow. Most of them don't have slabs or stairs, so they're really hard to build with. And oh, I forgot coral. Coral is a nice color of yellow, but it kind of dies, unfortunately. A bit hard to build with. But yeah, I've been enjoying this feature in Axiom because it lets you find out like how you can kind of blend blocks together. So for instance, these are both yellowish green, or greenish yellow, I guess. So they're pretty easy to blend together. All right, I feel like maybe we would benefit from some kind of balcony out here. Hey, there's two grass stacked on top of each other. That's weird. Let me try something here that's a little bit unorthodox. Okay, it doesn't look good like that, but I think the basic principle kind of works. Yeah. All right. Have you thought about adding different languages in your world? I have. This world has a bit of French, a bit of German, and a bit of Dutch. It has basically no Arabic for the simple reason that I can't really show it right now, but normal Minecraft text looks like this, and Arabic Minecraft text is rendered in Unicode, which makes it about half the size. So Arabic text in Minecraft is super hard to read for some... I mean, like, I kind of know the reason, but for a frustrating... Pardon me. For a frustrating reason, basically. So it is very hard to use something like Arabic text, which I've tried for Bexel and Medina. Probably gonna do a little... No, I think they're probably gonna go around to get down to the cellar. There we go. Something like that as our little cellar entrance, I think will work well. Kind of want it tucked away back here at the door. And we're probably going to use a mix of stone and andesite in here. So this guy's a farmer. He must have a bunch of stuff that he is storing. And I think we should bring it back one more, like so. Bring up the ceiling. Actually, we can keep a bit of the dirt in here, because I'm going to make rooted dirt be part of the ceiling for us. This guy's just a pretty simple farmer, so I don't think he's like an expert arch builder or anything. So we're going to go with some pretty low-key wooden supports for the cellar. I don't think it's like an ancient, you know, storage technique or anything. It's just a pretty simple deal down here. We can actually make it look a little bit rough. I was gonna type in the word rough. Brain is working too fast right now. There we go. I think this place needs some roots. Oh, maybe some muddy roots too. Too dark. There we go. I used to use a lot of lanterns in my builds, so... Whoa. Some weird axiom glitching there. Have you built any thatch style roofs? Yes, I have. I will show you. How long have you been working on this world? Since a little bit before COVID. Or I guess a few months before COVID, but I took a break for a while. Have you thought about adding villagers? I have. I don't have villagers because they're really... Villagers cause lag. They kind of jump everywhere unless you give them no AI, and if you give them no AI, they don't move. And it just becomes a whole separate thing. They also make a ton of noise, and ultimately, villagers all look like... I'm trying to figure out... Okay. Villagers all look like poor peasant farmers. Like, even the cleric villager does not look... I'm going to say very affluent. Which makes it hard for a place like Regensburg, which is supposed to have, like, you know, kind of 17th century, like, rich Dutch merchants. You can't really represent that well with villagers. Anyway, about the thatch question. This build is all meant to have thatch roofs. So here I was using a mix of oak and jungle. But if we come over to Brewerstown, these are what my new thatch roofs look like. So here it is a gradient from oak to birch to sandstone. So this is kind of the new style, and I'm trying to use like wooden fences and candles and stuff to look like little supports, because thatch needs to have like a structure underneath it. And if we come over to this build, yeah, here you can see I started incorporating some like dithering. Dithering just means like when you start mixing in blocks randomly, it's not a smooth gradient. So here's what you can kind of see it looks like on a more kind of even slope. But yeah, I think this is probably the best way to represent thatch in Minecraft right now. You can see some other examples here. These are just birch and sandstone. Looks fine. I think it looks better with the oak though. Bamboo is kind of nice in theory for thatched roofs, but you need to have a very brightly colored build to make it work. You can't have something like this and then add in some thatched roofs. It just looks cartoonish, I found. There are 9 of you in the chat right now, so I want to know, what do you think I should do with this farm? Do you think it should be more like wheat, potatoes? Well, not potatoes. I'm trying to avoid New World crops, but it could be like wheat, flowers, berries, carrots, beets. Could be melons. we could do something else entirely. In the meantime, I am going to probably... I can't really add a doorway here because of where these things are. Hold on. Whoa. Flying too fast. Okay, doorway is going to be here. Like so. This is probably going to be a spruce floor. And we're going to use a mix of spruce and strip spruce in alternating... Yeah, in alternating stripes. This might sound silly, but I like to lay these spruce logs in the same direction that the planks go. So if the plank lines go this way, I lay them, you know, that way, basically. I might switch this to dark oak for reasons. Somebody's saying some vegetables would fit the green style of the house. Not a crop expert, so I have no say in this. Well, it's not about expertise, it's just vibes thing, but I get it. I did hear vegetables though, so we're probably gonna go for some more veggies around here. I've never really looked up how... I've looked up things like how medieval wheat was kind of farmed, like how medieval wheat farms looked. For things like carrots and beets, I'm kind of, what's the expression? Like flying by the seat of my pants? I don't really know how it's supposed to look. Whoops. Hey, ho, hey. There we go, basic roof structure. Probably gonna have a nice little window here, and then a fireplace on this side. So I think this divider is gonna separate the living area from the sleeping area. And gonna close that off with just some fences, keep it open for the airflow. Back here, we can tuck away a little cobblestone furnace. So we can come in like so. Very simple design. Looks even better if you manipulate it like that. That's actually what I did on the Blackstone chimneys that I did in the manor house that I showed off in the interior tutorial. Oh, these all have slabs. Oh no, that one just has a pot. That's fine then. Maybe we could do something weird. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit silly, but I think it's fun. I can't fill that out until I decide what vegetable I'm going to plant, though. Maybe poppies. I could do poppies. If you use the pitcher pods, you can make some convincing turnips. Yes, I've done turnips before. I could make this turnips as well. Although I think... Actually, okay, I can't do turnips because turnips don't fit the Newport vibe, which is very... like 2020 Minecraft. That's kind of bothering me a little bit. I think we're going to outline the farm here. So just taking some cobblestone and we're going to bring it up a little bit, I think. Or yeah, we're going to bring it up even though we're not going to use the whole space. And then around here, we are also going to stretch out. Whoops. We're also going to stretch out to about here and then probably link up with this. This is a big inn. It's called, hold on. It is called the Three Wolves Tavern and Inn. Oh, this is what I mean about villages, by the way. This kind of like jumpiness really bothers me. Anyway, it's called the Three Wolves because if you come inside, there are 3 wolves, which I think is cute. Getting back to this though, we can come around here and go like so to kind of block that off. Go around here. I kind of need to fill this in because this looks weird. It's not a creeper hole, but it kind of looks like one. I think it's just the way the terrain formed. And we might keep the poppies on the outside here. Or maybe we'll just do poppies on the inside too, and these will just be our escaped poppies that have breached containment. There we go. We're going to come back in and add a little bit more detail to that. I just want to get a little vague idea first. There we go. Come back in and we can do our andesite on this side too. Nice. This is looking like a pretty big farm at the moment. And the shape feels kind of weird, so I think we need to divide this up into a couple different things. Might add a little retaining wall here. Something that comes around like so. Just to kind of separate this area. Let me get back to the chat. It's crazy to think that our ancestors used to live in times like the Middle Ages and no one will know they existed. Yeah, I don't think anyone will know we existed either, though, unfortunately. Coming home from Slovakia, what is the main thing you saw there that you want to incorporate into Tretogor? Very good question, Leos. Thank you. I need to think on that one for a second. I'm still thinking. I don't have an answer yet. All right. The main thing that I want to incorporate. Well, there's something that I wanted to try and incorporate, which is not something you can do in Minecraft, which is painted buildings. We had a big discussion about this in the Discord. Hashtag plug for the Discord. But yeah, I found it fascinating, like the style of architecture where people just paint on like building details instead of actually doing them. So instead of having it's like a concrete building and you just paint it on the outside to look like it's made out of bricks or ashlars, which I thought was really neat. I think I might make this into poppies. So we can select block equals grass and active block equals something like coarse dirt. Just reduce the brush size. brush size a little bit and can come in here and make this whole thing a poppy farm. Like so. Hello, Noah. Glad you finally caught a stream. But yeah, trying to do painted details doesn't really make sense in Minecraft because all details are real details, if that makes sense. Like you can't really fake bricks on a building. If there are bricks, there are bricks, and if there aren't, there aren't. You can imply bricks, so you can, I mean, even something like bamboo, if you use it right, can just look like yellow bricks. But it's really hard to like fake detail in Minecraft in that specific sort of way. There's opium in Tretogor now. There's um Brewerstown has poppy production, like a little bit. Uh just because it's like really useful. I think this is gonna be flowers though, but I might rescind on what I did and just keep this as grass. What we can do though is select block equals air and below equals grass. Come in with our painter and make little rows of poppies. So that would look a little something like this. And then we could swap it out for some of our blue orchids. Come through, do another row, and just sort of keep going like that. Is there a Bedrock download for Tretogor? No, there isn't currently. I've said it before, I don't really know how to port things to Bedrock. The Java download is available. If somebody wants to port it, I will be more than happy to endorse that project. But it's just not something that I have the kind of wherewithal to get to in the near future. I feel like I kind of like the flower field idea, but I have no idea what to put under it. I don't know if this should be grass or not grass. Let me look at my flower options, actually. Did we get any new ones recently? We got wildflowers. I guess that kind of counts. We could do alliums. Whoa. There we go. So something sort of like this would be our alliums. But I feel like I'm not happy with how this looks. I don't know if this is like a tweaking issue or if this should just be scrapped, but Tretogor as a region is a reference to The Witcher, right? Yes, it is. I've said it before, but when I chose the name Tretogor, I didn't know I was gonna make a big YouTube series and it was gonna be popular and it was gonna take off and be a whole thing. I just made it because I wanted to upload to Planet Minecraft. I wanted people to see my world, and I was like, oh, I need to call it something, and I was like, Witcher reference, slap it on. I was actually gonna ask what the word Tretogor meant. Tretogor means 3 hills, basically, or 3 mountains in, I want to say Slavic generally, because it's like kind of, it's like Polish adjacent. Try neat rows. Oh, yeah, maybe I could do tulips. Hold on. Yeah, I take names from wherever, honestly. It's never really bothered me. Just because I know like everyone kind of does that anyway in real life. I mean, Uh, one of the biggest towns in Canada is called London. They're one of the biggest cities in Canada is called Montreal, and Montreal just means the Royal Mountain. And there's a Montreal in France, and there's one in Syria too. So that's like that's just kind of the way people name things is they just either name it after where they're at or they name it for a different place where they were. I know there is a Berlin in the US. There is a place called Lebanon. Uh, there's a bunch of Parises. Usually just Google Translate keywords. Yeah, I've done that too. So up there is a mountain called basically Sean Castel, which just means the old mount, the old castle, effectively. Here we go. Painter. Cuboid. Then we could do neat rows or kind of neat rows. Oh, whoops. Grass. And I'm going to paint this red. So we could do something like that. And just try to keep it pretty nice and neat. Kind of doing this on a diagonal because if I do it straight, it's just going to look really weird with this terrain, I think. And we can obviously come in here and clean it up a little bit. Where it's touching. There we go. And this kind of justifies why the field is so big, because you need to grow a lot of flowers to like get anything out of it, basically. Like monetarily, or if you're trying to farm something like opium. Which I do not officially endorse. The Sir Bobert Ross YouTube channel does not officially endorse opium farming in Minecraft. Mahakam from Witcher is a random river in Indonesia. I did not know that. That's very interesting. Can display entities connect fences diagonally? Yeah, you could. If you wanted to, you could go. I mean, you could make like any kind of fence you wanted, but you could basically go in here, flick your gizmos. That sounds dirty. Don't take that out of context. Go like so, and just kind of work it till you're happy with it. Then you could duplicate it, drag it under. You could then group with nearby in range. And then if you wanted to repeat the diagonal fence, you could just click on it, duplicate again, and go like so. It's not perfect. Hold on. Okay, it'd be something like this. Basically. One thing about display entities is that the lighting is always a little bit weird. But then what you could do, if you wanted, is come in like so. Like so. Go like that. Copy with entities. And now you just have diagonal fences in Minecraft. Display entities are really cool. They're also super time consuming, and I don't know if I'm going to keep using them in the future, but I do like the idea of them. We in Canada have some good names. If you're looking for inspo ever, just don't. Just. Oh, just messing around in Google Maps in mid North Canada is good. Yeah, the French regions too. It's funny, every French place, okay, every place that I've driven through in the province of Quebec is they're almost exclusively named Saint something. And if you guys don't know how the saint system works in Canada, uh, they're not actual saints, they're just people. Basically, for one reason or another, a while ago, it was just kind of decided that it was the thing to name everything after like saint something, but we ran out of saints and people just started calling that after themselves. So every place called like Saint Cyril is just a guy and it's not a real saint. Which isn't like a critique or anything. I just find it funny as a system that we came up with naming things after saints and then immediately kind of like abused it to just name anything whatever we wanted. Okay, I think these flower fields are going to be nice. And now what we can do is say block equals air and below equals red wool. Painter, come in here and say that we want tulips. By the way, guys, I have a texture pack right now if you're wondering about my flowers that makes it so that multiple flower textures appear in each block. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. It's not 100% of the time, but it makes your flower fields look so much better. Because otherwise, the Minecraft flowers are super far apart and it kind of looks bad. Anyway, we can cover this one with a red tulip. Red, white, orange, pink. Red, again. White, orange, pink. Or red, orange, white, pink. No. Red, white, orange, pink. Because orange and pink look... Orange and red look too similar, and pink and white look too similar. So if we want it to look nice, we kind of got to space it out. There we go. Come in here with the... Didn't I just do pink? Come in here with the white tulips. Like a so. And now we have flower fields. What do you think? Under the flowers, should we do podzol, coarse dirt, leave it as grass? We can make it moss. We can make it like a dark green color, so we can make it like green wool. Hello, sir. Hello, Grumpy Bear. I mean, people back in the day used to be named after saints, right? In the Philippines, people used to name their kids based on whose saint's feast day they were born on. That's interesting. Are you just going to be building more houses or just this? My plan for the stream is basically to build this, and then if we still have time, which I think we will, I am going to... I mean, it's... Okay, all of you should have watched the video I posted today, but I mean that kind of as a joke. We did this mansion today in the video, and right beside the mansion is this vineyard. So what I want to do is come in here and do the interiors for these 3 buildings. This one is like some kind of storage building, basically. This one is a living space with beds on top. These are some of the field workers. This is a stables where the horse has gone, so there's just a little cat hanging out. because, you know, cats like to hang out. And over here, this is probably where we're going to be storing the finished wine. There is a cellar back here. If I turn up my brightness, you'll see that we have a little cellar. There's going to be some more wine barrels, and I think that storage is going to be for like materials. Maybe we'll have like some bottles in there or something. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what goes into like 17th century wine production exactly. But anyway, is consistency in name conventions important to your worlds? No, it isn't. I know it. I know some people really like consistency. I prefer variation in Minecraft because I find consistency gets really tiring. Um, so there are some places that have French names, there are some places that have Slovak names, there are some places that have very like simple names like Edgewater or Somerton, Marsh Castle. There are places that are a bit more, I would say, a bit more like inspired, I guess, like New Gedham or Castle Leslie or Dunlion. Um, Medina is just translated from Arabic, or I mean, it is literally just Arabic, I guess. Uh, Somebody suggested rooted dirt for underneath these flowers, so why don't we try that out? Block equals red wool, and we can replace it with some rooted dirt. That's not right. So this is what rooted dirt looks like. I feel like it makes the whole thing look really pale, although I don't hate it. Uh, let's see, Podzol. Podzol is pretty dark. I feel like the rooted dirt looked better. We could try, I mean, we could technically make this like any block, but um, just meaning we can make it something like this, or we can make it something varied. If I come back to my Brewerstown path, whoa, what's happening? Why isn't this registering properly? Oh, because it's set to surface. Silly. Hmm. I don't know. Looks a bit weird. Maybe just try all the dirts. I think I might. Not happy with this one. This one looks too pale. We can try coarse dirt. I think rooted dirt looked better, I'll be honest. I think you were right the first time. Between the fields, do you guys think I should do path blocks or just leave it as grass? Could do either. Really, we don't really have any real limitation. Oh, does anybody want me to name this farm after them, by the way? Obviously, I can't name it after like everyone in the chat, but if somebody specifically wants that and you answer first to this message, I can name it after you. Simple paths? Yeah, I'm thinking like the actual dirt path block. There we go. Just something really simple. Passing on through. Grumpy Bear said me. Although Toby said hell yeah, dude. So I don't know. I don't know if that counted as. I don't know if that was a response to my message. If it was, clarify in the chat. But anyway, here we go. So we can come in. I have too many presets now. I think I have one that's just called Path. This one's just called Path. It's way too big though. There we go. Coming in here with our little shady path. Going to hook it around right up through here. Then come back down. It was, but I'll draw for it with Grumpy. Okay, hold on. We can resolve this. I mean, my mind's percolating. Hold on. Hold on. By the way, okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I don't really have a better place for my mic, so my mic is on top of my keyboard, which makes it really hard to hit certain keys. There we go. So it's Toby Bear's Flower Farm, and his nickname is Grumpy. I agree with Lias. What did Lias say? Toby Bear. Yeah, I can leave it as just Toby Bear. Hold on. Oh. Again, I'm trying to hit like my backspace key and it's really hard. There we go. Okay. Toby Bear's Flower Farm. I can make the text white. That might be a bit more legible. Or I can make the sign a different color. Hold on. Okay. I'm really struggling with my mic right now. I don't usually have to hit my backspace key this much. Okay, what about something like that? I think that fits. Best farm in history. Nobody can change my mind. There we go. Okay. Okay, so back to the question of whether this should have grass between them or path blocks. What do you guys think? I can make it path, or I can show you what it looks like, basically. It would look like this. I think that looks really brown, though. It looks more like a farm, but it looks really brown. It kind of kills the cuteness factor, I feel. I'm a supporter for naming it after Elias. We can name something else after Elias. By the way, I'm pronouncing it Elias. I don't know if that's correct. If it is not, please correct me. Oh, that's okay. I think a nice clock on the mantelpiece here would work. I think you should stick to the grass between. I think grass between is probably the right call. It's a bit too brown. Yeah, I think you guys are right. There we go. Loki, I've got a realm for pals that is up, but has been dead for a few months. Anyone trying to hop on? I'll leave that one up to you guys in the chat. I don't really tend to join realms much. Trying to make this look like each of the flower colors, basically. And then back here we can just have some simple kind of storage. There we go. I think that's fine. Today I don't really use lanterns much, but I did a lot when I was in my Newport era, so that's why we're using a lantern here. And then we can also, I think, do some bees. I hear they're the bee's knees these days. There we go. Or maybe these should be up here, actually. Well, we have the space. We might as well put them here. There we go. Kind of adds a little pop of yellow. I think around here we could use a big old tree. Oh, that wasn't me. That's just been missing, I think. We could use a big old tree, so I'm going to come into my clipboard. Haven't made a tree in a bit. Maybe something like an ash tree? Not really doing it for me. Whoa, don't want to do that. Could do something like that. Just kind of tie the whole area in. It adds a bit of shade, so it kind of takes away from the light here and it focuses your eyes back on the fields. It's pronounced Lius. All right. I got Java. I'd be up for realm crafting. Okay. Could do a couple things here, but I think extending this and doing a little barn would be cool. Never mind, can't do that. There is one type of meat that we're not farming anywhere in Tretogor, but I don't know if I dare put it in because I feel like people are going to get mad at me. But we don't have any rabbit farms. There we go. And like so. This place is really coming together. Yo, Sir Bobert Russ, not trying to hijack your chat. No, it's fine. As long as people are being respectful in the chat, I have no issues. I feel like I should knock these in because they look kind of ugly. But yeah, I think I'm going to put some bunnies here. There are literally like 0 actual rabbits in this world other than like what spawned in naturally. So I don't know, just kind of fits. Gonna put in some water. I'm not gonna like imply that they're being killed or anything. We'll just treat it like it's a petting zoo. I'm not gonna make it like dark or anything. We'll just say that they're raising rabbits for entirely benevolent reasons. I just realized rabbits can jump over stuff really easily. Oh man, that's gonna suck. Okay. Where are my barriers? That should hold him, right? I think. I hope. I hope. Oh, look at the little rabbit Easter egg. Not Easter egg. Spawn egg. So cute. And I feel like back here we could do like some hay on the floor or whatever rabbits eat usually. I think it's kind of like leafy greens. We'll do some dark oak buttons to look like rabbit poop. Because rabbits be pooping. There we go. Now there are some rabbits on this farm. We still have a bit of empty space here that I'm probably going to fill with some grass. I just lost my clipboard. That keeps happening to me. I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys saw it. Like just 2 seconds ago, I had a clipboard open and now it's just gone forever again until I reset my heads up display or my UI. All right, let's go through, see if any of these are bothersome. These ones kind of are. This is a mix of azaleas and grass and a little bit of bush. Just a few azaleas out there. Add a little bit of color, a little bit of texture to the place. This is a bit too much. Where'd they go? Okay, I hate Minecraft mobs. Look at this. Look at this behavior. This is terrible. You could remove the AI from the rabbits. I don't know, man. People do sell and eat them, but I've never had the chance to try. I haven't tried rabbit, no. I've tried duck, and I like duck. I think that's the closest thing to rabbit I've tried. I think I associate those animals because they're both kind of like French to me. Oh, and we can put a wagon up here. And my clipboard is gone. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to make our own wagon. Like it's 2020. We don't have Axiom yet. There we go. This place is looking pretty swanky now. We don't have any fresh water here, but I don't know if we have a really good place to put a well. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of stumped. Maybe we could put a well over here. Wait. There's no well here. No, that's not a well. Okay, hold on. That's gonna kind of kill the view if I put a well there. Gotta put it here. There we go. Just a little something like that. Doesn't have to be crazy, but I just want them to have some kind of source of fresh water. And the ground level should be at Y63. So, what are we at? Y59? Oh. Well, this is... Okay. Well, we'll put it there then. I guess we're pretty close to the water table. There we go. Now we just need to do the rest of this interior. Warning, wow. Well, I don't want people to fall in. Looks like a nightmare to get someone out of there. Have you thought about making a big fantasy castle? I have. The closest I've come is Castle Leslie, which for those of you who haven't seen, I don't know if anybody hasn't, but this is Castle Leslie. It is my big sort of fantasy castle in not like a Cinderella castle, but it's kind of inspired by. It kind of is inspired by the Cinderella castle in a sense, in ways that I won't explain because they're a bit hard to articulate. But this is like my really big, kind of fantasy-ish castle. You can see I don't usually go like super high fantasy or anything. I like to go very. My style of fantasy is what if the Middle Ages was architecturally a little bit more advanced, I guess. So like using things like glass windows and stuff. Like that's kind of my level of fantasy that I like to operate on. Or having like shops. Like in the Middle Ages, most of like some of the shops we have in here are like a grocer shop, and in the Middle Ages, this would probably just be like a pop-up stand in the market, or like the fact that we have copper roofs. Like that's kind of the most fantasy-ish I get around here. Typically, obviously, if you go like way over there, I'm starting to do like some weird stuff. All right, so we're gonna try and keep with the typical style around here. So we're gonna do a little bit of firewood in the corner, a cooking prep area over here, and a little cauldron. I knew that was gonna happen. We'll put some tripwire hooks so you can hang your coat at the end of the day. Come in here, we could probably use a couple of candles when it gets dark. And I think we're gonna go for a big knife on the countertop. Like so. And maybe a couple of shelves up here. You can kind of see, so I mentioned earlier that this kind of interior isn't quite the same as what I showed off in my video, but it still follows a lot of the same principles. So we need light. So this room has the most light. It is the bedroom. This room is going to be a bit warmer because this has our fireplace, but it's still enough to heat, especially this is a pretty permeable wall. So this room is going to get plenty of heat. We have 4 chairs here, so I'm going to put down 4 beds. Probably some dark gray ones. Something like so. Again, trying to keep it consistent. I think 4 people could reasonably like take care of this place, like full time. So I think that's about realistic to me. Trying to think a little bit about the lighting again. I know that we are going to want to have some more candles around here. So gonna come in here. We're not gonna light these up because it's just gonna be particles that we don't really need. A little bit of a shelf. We are trying to consider the material culture here, so we're trying to make everything kind of not low class, but very like unvarnished wood look. There's no headboards, there's no covered beds. Everything is pretty shrimple. Little shrimp joke for you. Chest in the corner. These people probably don't have a lot of like valuable earthly possessions or anything. So I think just one little chest should be fine. We can do a shelf above the bed or something small up here. Maybe they keep some linens to change the sheets. And not really happy with that one. Maybe they have a little chest up here where they keep their valuable stuff. By the bed here, we still have a little bit of empty space, so maybe there is a chair for the parents to read bedtime stories to the children. I think this is about the level of busyness that we want, although we could hang something up here. Or we could do buttons and just make it look like it is a little detailed wooden beam. Like so. I think this is going to about do it, but like I mentioned in the spilling out part, these guys probably going to want to have, you know, a chair to look over your beautiful flower garden. Might want to keep some firewood somewhere. So I imagine maybe over here would be a nice little place for a firewood stack. Like so. And I think that is going to do it, except we didn't put a bathroom here. So let's see. Best place for a bathroom? Maybe down here so that it wouldn't stink up the house. Although it would be kind of close to the porch. Always love seeing Castle Leslie. Me too. Campfire looks great as firewood around oak block. I agree. Actually, I didn't used to do it with this build. What I did was... Actually, hold on. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna steal one. So for whatever reason, if you middle click ahead in Minecraft, it does not work. But if you steal it with the Axiom mod, it does work. So you can do something like this. And then I'm going to take it and do the same thing in here. Just put it on the floor, probably. Or on top of this one. There we go. We can even combine it with a campfire to add a little bit more pizzazz in here. That being said, toilet. I think toilet might end up being over here because we want it to be a bit far away. I'm going to use an iron helmet here to look like the little moon symbol. Like so. And this kind of opens the wrong way. So we'll do this, come in here, composter. You guys know the deal by now. Fill it up a little, and voila. Now Toby Bear's flower farm is done, and we have a beautiful new addition to the city. Takes up a bunch of space. I might come in here and do another farm in the future. I probably will, to be honest, but right now it's not my priority. I want to try and work on that vineyard. The rabbits probably stink as well anyway. That's a good point. If it's on a flower farm, why not give them access to brightly colored bed sheets? That's a fair point. I can give them... Right now we're working with green. So I think the most natural ones would probably be yellow and orange. Technically pink, but pink doesn't go well with green. Orange usually does. Can try something like that, or we could do yellow and brown. Screw it, we'll just do double yellow. I think it works. Thank you for the suggestion, chat. Control middle mouse. Okay, hold on. Let me try this. No way! What? Nobody told me I could do that. Oh my god, that would have saved me so much heartache. Thank you, random gamer. I did not know that. Got any shows to recommend? All my shows are on break for the next season. Ooh, I watch a decent amount of TV. What kind of show are you looking for? Are you looking for something more like a sitcom, or are you looking for more like big, serious television? Hold on, this classical music is bugging me. Oh my god, it's over anyway. Listen to this for 26 minutes? Good grief. There we go. Watch HBO's Rome. Okay, hear me out. You can also do that with signs with text. Dude, what? Hold on, what? What do you mean you can do it with signs with text? What? How long has this been in the game? Oh my god. Oh my god, that would have saved me so much time. Guys, am I dumb for not knowing this? How long has it been in the game? Copies block data, where the specific head data is stored. Vague serious television? Okay, Season 1 of Rome is goated. I did not like season 2. I got 3 episodes in with my girlfriend and I was like, this is not making me happy anymore, and we kind of just stopped watching it. Um Game of Thrones is good. I It gets bad. I think the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are genuinely really good TV, and after that it becomes a lot more hit or miss whether the episodes are good or not. But I do still recommend Game of Thrones overall. Um Adolescence was really good. If you haven't seen Adolescence already, it's a 4 episode mini series. It's like 4 hours. Trying to think. I know we're playing the outro music right now, but this is not the outro. I'm trying to think of show recommendations. Damn, this is hard. I liked Cyberpunk Edge Runners quite a bit. It's not for everybody, but I think Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a really well executed, really compelling story. Uh, I would recommend it, honestly. I hate the way Minecraft vines look. This is terrible. I'm gonna copy these vines. Hold on. If this grows, it's gonna break the whole thing. Don't grow, don't grow. This kind of sucks. Hold on. I feel like I can do better. Okay, we gotta layer that one. Then, what is it? This one, then this one, then that. Okay, okay, that's something. That's not nothing. Oh, bye, Leos. The things you do for detail. It's tough. Oh yeah, so these are supposed to be dark blue roofs, but like we talked about before, we don't really have dark blue stairs or anything, so kind of ended up being a bit weird, but they're kind of like my dark bluey purple roofs. Um, the question now is, am I happy with this? And the answer is kind of, yeah. Okay, I think maybe something more like that. Like, okay, right? Like that kind of works. I don't think it's okay. Now I got to replace this coral because it was, oh my, there it is. Shit, I wanted this to be rosebush. Rosebush, half upper, paint, one block. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Uh, yeah, I've heard good things about the wire and Chernobyl. I think those are both pretty good recommendations. I've started watching The Last of Us with my girlfriend. Season 1 was really good. Season 2 is a little bit, it's not doing it for me as much as season 1 was. I'll put it that way, but I think it's still honest it's still solid television. Like it's not bad by any means. Trying to make like a chimney here, but it's a bit of a pain. Gotta give my dog her meds. See you next stream. Yeah, see you next stream, Noah. Thank you, by the way, for everybody who has turned up. Is Last of Us a zombie show? Yes, it is. It is not super zombie-ish, I guess. I guess on okay, on a scale of like zero zombies to like The Walking Dead, it's like halfway. I think it's less zombie-ish than The Walking Dead. That's how I would frame it. Okay, there we go. This is the living area for the workers. So it is going to be pretty low key. I feel like this needs like roof supports in here. And oh no, it's not uneven. No, we're good. There we go. Got our roof supports in. Kind of brings down the ceiling a little bit. Makes it feel a little bit more cozy. You know? I'm going to do some pickles because I think these guys are probably... Well, I use pickles for cups because they look kind of like cups in Minecraft. But anyway. Hashtag alive has my heart. I have not heard of hashtag alive. What's hashtag alive? Bro, that house gonna go up in flames. It's fine. We got fire tick. Never thought I'd see a wooden fireplace. Oh, yes, sir. I've been doing wooden fireplaces. This is my... The day that Minecraft adds brownstone, I'll stop using wood. But right now we have no good way to look like dark, kind of like muddy stone. So we make do with what we got. feel like I want another chair there by the fire. Just something simple. Over here, we're probably gonna do something like this, and then in the corner, we're gonna have a small stone sink. Sorry, that happens because I have no block updates turned on by default, because otherwise it tends to mess things up. You're gonna want some place to hang your coats when you come in. We have 6 people actually who work here, so I'm gonna put another chair here. Even if they can't all sit and eat dinner at the same time, they're still gonna have enough like seats technically. You guys gotta give me a second. I gotta get my charger. My phone is dying. Am I a supporter of vertical slabs? Good question. I'd say no. Because I feel like here's my alternative. I think Minecraft should genuinely like keep adding more wood subsets so that we get more trapdoors, because I already use these like I would use vertical slabs anyway. Like these are my vertical slabs. I also use walls like vertical slabs, but we don't have enough walls in the game. For instance, no quartz walls. If you want to make a quartz building, you got to use diorite walls, and diorite is really, really messy. Like, why do we have walls for deep slate tile, but not polished diorite? Silly. Why do we not have walls for like the dark prismarine or the prismarine bricks, even though we have walls for like every other type of bricks except for quartz bricks? I know Minecraft has a very different like view on parity than like players do. But like we could really use some more parity options. Just gonna add a lettuce there because I think they're probably eating lettuce. I want to say maybe they have some herbs hanging. So we could get some of these and hang them up on the inside. I have this bear head that I'm like never gonna use. I got it to make like a big bearskin rug, but I find bearskin rugs in Minecraft look really weird because we don't have a good like bear fur looking like half slab. Oh, hello, beans and apples. Love your world. Been looking for a while. Well, I'm glad you're finally popping in and saying hi. And parody is anything I say it is. Yeah. It's interesting how overall Minecraft building style has shifted from material centered to texture centered. Yes, I think it's better for it. I think the days when people used to, well, hold on. I think the difference really is like people used to be really selective about it, and now we're starting to see that open up a bit more. For instance, back in ye olden days, every time you saw somebody making like a dark colored roof, this would be the roof. It would like 100% of the time they're using black wool. And then people kind of stopped for a while when they added blackstone back in. Because people were like, oh, well, now we have like the black block. But it's kind of coming back. Like over there, people are trying to use glass in a lot of really interesting ways. Some of them I think are cool. Some of them don't quite work for me. But when you don't have walls, like if you can't use quartz walls, using quartz glass, using white glass panes instead of quartz, I think is really nice. this is like pale oak wood, and we have suspicious sand like tucked into this building. This is coral. Like our rosebush thing is made out of coral and glowberries and drip leaf. And I think it's great. I think the more we unburden ourselves from what things technically are, the more interesting and creative stuff we can do. Upside down dead bush. Pale hanging moss for dried herbs. I can try pale hanging moss. I think it just looks like cobwebs though. It doesn't have a good herby look. I could do this. That kind of looks like dried herbs. I'm not going to do them upside down because I don't know. I haven't been in a very display entity mood. I don't know. What would you think about wood walls? You know what? I'm not going to push for wood walls, but if they add them, I'm not going to be upset either. Like, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, well, the walls were always for this or that. Like, we have netherite fences. Not netherite, netherrack. Whoops. And some of these walls are made out of like stupid things anyways. Like we have like resin bricks. I still don't know why we have prismarine walls. Why we have tile walls. Tile walls I still think are the weirdest ones to have. But I'm not going to complain. Like there are people who complain about inventory clutter. I play creative, so I don't care. If Minecraft does an inventory update, I will be happy, and if they don't, it will not bother me. I feel like we need something to fill this back wall, and I don't know if I want to do more windows necessarily. I feel like I like it feeling kind of warm and enclosed with that fire. Although I'm probably going to make it a campfire, because that fire is looking a little bit big. I think that's more reasonable. Hello, Bobert. I'm a big fan of your anthropologist approach to Minecraft. I would love some birch wood walls for my sandstone build. Yeah, that would work. And I'm glad to hear you like the anthropology stuff. I think... Okay, guys. Ads are so annoying now. I swear they straight up got rid of skippable ads. Yeah, it sucks. I have some creative control over it, but I don't have as much as... When you guys see ads as automated, there's only like 10 people in this chat though, so I will show you what the next video is going to be. It's going to be this. I built Notre Dame de Paris Cathedral in Minecraft. Anyway, we're going to do a proper video on that in a few days. And then after that is going to be the... I want to do like the anthropology of Minecraft villagers. Just because I think it'd be kind of funny. Like it's a bit of a joke video, but I think there's something like genuinely to it. You could talk about like the building styles, the agriculture, the clothing, the technology, the fact that they seem to have religion and are kind of Christian. Is that the Forever World City project? Yeah, that is the city project. And yeah, I like giving sneak peeks on streams, especially like 2 hours into a stream. You guys have been here for a while. You deserve something for your time more than me yapping in a small room. I think maybe something like this, just a small little detail there. And I don't want to do a shelf here. You know what? I could do a painting. Oh, that was a good one. Hold on. No, it feels too nice. These are like field workers. Cathedral is stunning. Thank you. Inventory problem is much more painful on Bedrock. Yeah. Uh, so I played Bedrock from 2012 to 20. Guys, when did Village and Pillage come out? That's the first update I ever played on Java. I played everything else before that on Bedrock, and I played Village and Pillage on Java, and I've been on Java since. You know, these guys are some working folks. I'm gonna put a hoe in here. You know, it feels silly. I'm not gonna do that. I'm probably just gonna do a shelf. A simple little wooden shelf. That I can't do because of these dang ceiling blocks. Okay, hold on. We can still do something small here. Can tuck that up there. Yeah, I feel like this place has like a little warm, kind of cozy vibe to it. Yeah, I dig it. I think this place is nice. The reason I'm doing this one is because I've been dreading like finishing this place forever now. I don't know why exactly. It's just one of those things, you know. Sometimes you just get there and you just really don't want to finish a build. But that's why I'm doing it on stream now, so that I can do it with you guys and not have to do it alone, basically. Because I'll be honest, I like having farms in my world, but I find Minecraft farms are kind of boring to build because they're super repetitive. So by dragging you guys along with me for the ride, I don't really have to deal with it because I get to just yap the whole time. So that's nice, you know? Oh, why did I build this on 2s? Okay, you know what? I never do 4x4. I never do 2x2 windows. There might be a reason. It might be because it looks kind of ugly, but you know, I never do it. I think if I put some shutters on this, it wouldn't even look that bad. I just like closed up this one. Did something like that. Nope. Yep. There we go. Okay, yeah, that works. I lost my chat again. Where'd we go? 2019, 2019-ish? Yeah. Why does it look like a crab? Wait, what? Why does what look like a crab? This? Elaborate. What does what look like a crab? What do you mean? What does that mean? Hold on, I gotta take a water break. I'm dying. Okay, question. What the hell goes into wine production? I feel like there's sulfur involved. I'm gonna do a couple shelves back here. And I'm gonna do like one against the wall when you come in, and then the rest is gonna be just like open kind of storage. Yeah, something like that. You gotta have these big open doorways so you can put in like big barrels and stuff. The house kind of looks like a crab's face without the shutters. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I see you. I get what you mean. Whoops. Hey, no, that's not what I want. Da da da. This kind of looks like a generic storage place, but the thing of it really is that I need some place for them to like logically keep the like wine making stuff. When you're joining WC builds. Um okay, hear me out. If very 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 big if I join a building server, it's probably not going to be WBC or bakery. It's probably going to be Westeros Craft. I think they used to step on the grapes at one point. Yeast and sugar and grapes. Ooh, sugar is a good idea. Good idea, thank you. We're gonna see which one of these looks more like sugar. This one. Okay, the grapes we mostly have out in the vineyard. This is where we're stepping on the grapes. So this is our white wine. This is our red wine. This used to have red wine in it. And this is a bunch of grapes and twigs and stuff from out there. They haven't really cleaned it up properly. Again, if I could have like different colored, like kind of greenish slabs, this would have been like all green, but we don't have good green stuff. But I think keeping grapes in here would be an interesting idea. Nope, can't do that one. Nope, can't do that one. There's no place I can put this. Okay, I'll get rid of the barrels. The barrels will have their own... The barrels are going to have their own storage place anyway, so I don't feel silly. Okay. Trick I like doing to make my barrels look a bit better is closed barrels have a pressure plate and open barrels are open. Obviously, this works better if you have mods or if you're using a debug stick, so not really vanilla, but does look cool. That's like Conquest Reforged. Yeah, kind of. Sir Bobert, cats or dogs? I like both. I own a dog. He is a little Yorkshire Beaver Terrier? Yorkshire Beaver Terrier? Kind of a little German dog. But my girlfriend is moving into a little place in the middle of nowhere by herself right now. And she is probably going to get a cat. So I'm going to kind of be a cat dad, I guess. I didn't mean to sound so unenthused about that. I've never really owned a cat before. So it's going to be an adjustment, but I think it's going to be good. How do you place half beds? Oh, good question. Okay. If you want to do it without mods, you look at a block. Whoops. Uh, slash fill block I'm looking at. Block I'm looking at. Blue beds. Replace none of these. It's something like, here we go. Part equals foot. Facing equals whatever direction you want. There you go. That's it. Obviously, if you touch it, it's gonna make it's gonna get weird. But now you have that, and what I like to do is combine it with a banner. So you can go like that, and then you have a beautiful yellow and blue bed. Chair. Yellow and blue chair. Obviously, a little bit easier in Axiom. What you do, look at a block. Active block equals blue bed. Facing whatever direction you want. Part equals foot. And then boom. Got a little bed. Which mods do you recommend for big building projects? The only real big building mod I have is Axiom. A lot of people like World Edit. I do not use World Edit because I never learned how to use it, basically. Which sounds a bit silly, I guess, but that's literally just it. Like I never really learned, so I just don't really know how to use it. In terms of, oh, here's one. There are a lot of texture packs that are nice to have. Specifically, if you look at these ones, I have connected sandstone, which is really nice. Instead of using Optifine, if you're using like fabric or whatever, works very good. Flower clusters, I used this one earlier. Better fast grass gives me like grass sides. Ashless campfires, very nice. Ashless campfires basically just means that when you place down campfires like this one, the ashes go away, which is really useful if you want to make things like a stack of firewood. One thing that I really recommend, sorry, the point of this is that there's one mod that I recommend more than any other if you're going to be a creative builder, and that is Krista's Better Walls. If you guys don't have Krista's Better Walls, get it. It just makes it so that your debugged walls don't have those weird gaps. So in normal Minecraft, if you go like this, if I turn this off, you will see it looks like that. This is terrible. So you kind of have to always keep it like full. But with Krista's Better Walls, you can make them look rounded and you can do all sorts of cool stuff. Even, hold on. Oh, it's not in this house. Hold on. Huh. Okay, yeah. If you do this in normal Minecraft, this looks absolutely terrible. As soon as you have the resource pack on, it just fixes it so that it actually looks like it's supposed to. And if we just knock that one up a little bit, there we go. Voila. Perfect little vertical slabs, basically. Why do you think it's harder to build, to think of palettes in survival versus creative? I think it's just because you don't have all of them in front of you and you don't have like, I mean, but if you're going to build in survival, you basically figure out your palette in creative and then you do it in survival. Unless you have like the best storage system on Earth where you can access every block super easily, it's just hard to think of. Like you can't remember all the blocks in the game. I don't remember half the stuff exists, like slime blocks. I don't even know if I've ever placed a slime block in this world. This might be the first one I've ever placed. Oh, about the chairs thing. I mean, it is really easy. Like it's okay. You can time me right now, but it does not take long at all to make this into a chair. Facing probably east, I think. Nope. edit, undo, facing west. You can go like so. And then if you don't even want to build that again, this is a little 4-block model. So you can go enter, copy, and you can just make another one. And if you don't even want to do that, you can just make it into part of your clipboard, so you never have to build that chair model again. It is, compared to like regular Minecraft where you're just trying to figure stuff out, it is very quick. I feel like there's got to be at least one slime block. Hold on. Okay, I'll tell you right now, if there's a slime block, I know where it is, and if it's not there, it's not anywhere. I've built one thing with redstone in this world. And it is here. And it's just sticky pistons. That was the first slime block I've placed. This is the only redstone in Tretogor, by the way. For all of you big Tretogor heads. Anyway, I think we're mostly done with this interior. But I don't think... Whoa. I love Axiom, but that flying stuff is crazy sometimes. Whoops. I'm doing this because I want to hang, like... I like doing empty chains that look like they used to have lanterns. Like so. Although right now I think I prefer the dark look in here. Yeah, I think there's enough light coming in through these windows. I don't think it needs it really. Back here we can just tuck away something like so. A couple empty whoops, sorry. I swear to God, I don't usually stutter in my day-to-day speech, but when I'm trying to concentrate on placing blocks and talking at the same time, it goes too fast for my brain. Sewers under Newport. No, there's no slime blocks. I like your videos where you connect anthropology topics to Minecraft. Thank you. I like them too. Okay, I don't want to do one that's half-assed. Like, I need to actually put proper research into it. And I'd prefer to do it with something I've already researched. Sorry, just readjusting in my seat here because my feet are falling asleep. I don't really sit normally. I usually sit like on my legs. I know that sounds weird, but I think you guys get what I mean. I sit like cross-legged, even in my office chair. Anyway, though, my point being, I've written a decent bit about the anthropology of aging, which I think is interesting. If you guys would be interested in hearing a little bit about the anthropology of aging through like a Minecraft context, I could try and work it in and see what we can come up with. Obviously, as opposed to something like farming, it's not super Minecrafty. But people have done similar things in the past. For instance, the University of Stockholm, I believe, in Sweden, made an interactive like adventure map where people could learn about diabetes by going through like this little kind of parkour thing. From the statistics, you can look up the amount you've placed each block. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, banners cleaned. What the hell does banners cleaned mean? Armor pieces cleaned? Wait, what? Wait, can you put a banner through a grindstone? Like if you... Is that what they mean? What does banners clean mean? No, hold on. What? Can you put it back? How do you clean a banner? I don't know. What does this mean? You use a cauldron. Cauldron. Whoops. Hey, no way. I didn't know you could do that. No idea when they added that in. Well, you learned something. We learned 2 new things today. Okay. There should be one called slime blocks placed. I think. Plants potted jumps 100,000. Yeah. Uh, you guys can't take these stats as like gospel because I've like switched worlds a couple of times. Like I'm always playing on this world, but I don't know if the stats change over when I like make a new world backup and then start playing on the backup instead of the original. Like time slept in a bed too. It doesn't sound right to me. I don't know. Sneak time 3 days though. That's crazy. General items. Oh, okay. Time's broken, picked up, dropped, mined. Well, let's find slime blocks. Are these alphabetically or what are we doing here? $84,000 grass blocks. See, there's no way I've only like broken 7 gray beds. That doesn't make sense. Okay, way at the bottom here should be slime blocks. These are all things that I've used exactly 1 time. I've placed 1 sniffer in this world. If you guys watched the stream that was like a month ago, I placed my first sniffer and it took up the entire room and I had to kill it. Because I thought it was going to be small. I thought it was like the baby sniffer size and it was not the baby sniffer size. It was huge. I don't know where this damn slime block is. Maybe I passed it already. Okay, I'm sure somebody has a mod that lets you just like look up specific things, like keywords. Gray glass. Okay, we're still in the 3000s. I gotta go way down. 15. Might be closer to 15. We're at blocks that have placed down twice. No, now we're down in the zeros. Okay, 28. I have allegedly placed down 28 slime blocks. Which is an interesting statistic, I guess. I feel like there should be some candles in here, like, because people come in here pretty often. They might not come in with a lantern. So. All right, I think this is fine for a little kind of warehouse interior. It's somewhere. I don't think it's anywhere. I think I broke every slime block I've placed. My hunch is that I might have been trying to use slime blocks to figure out if I could do like green glass or something, because I can tell you I've never built something with slime blocks in this world. I don't do redstone. I've never built like a witch's hut where I would have used it for like a cauldron full of like slime or something. I've never made a Nickelodeon stage. By the way, what did you guys think of the cartoony smoke? I feel like I like the concept, but not the actual execution. It's really hard to see glass in Minecraft. When Tretogor 3.0 releases, we can have the slime block hunt. Oh, speaking of hunts, by the way, and I brought this up on a stream a couple weeks ago. Nobody has found the Easter egg in Tretogor, which is somewhere near spawn. I've decorated this, although this is pretty plain, I think. For you guys who are still in the interior design mode, if you ever want to make it look like a bed is unoccupied, use wooden slabs. I think you have to get a mixed densities to look right. Grays for whites, for example. Do you mean like replacing the bottom part with grays? Because I could do that. See, I think it looks good against the sky. It just looks terrible if it has something like light colored behind it. I really like, I wish this was, hold on. Like I have a texture pack that I know would make this look better, but it's not. I have this stained glass texture pack, which just makes stained glass look more opaque and colorful. Because I find Minecraft stained glass by nature is like really see-through, which is nice, but I kind of sometimes need something that's like, okay, if any of you guys have played The Witcher 3, you know that like in that game there's tons of like glass windows, but you can't really see through them. Like you can get like a vague sense of what's behind it, but you can't really like properly see through the glass in The Witcher 3 because of the way the engine works. I like that effect. For the smoke, bottom and center, exactly like a mushroom cloud, add some panes. I could try to fill it out with some panes. I could also do panes in front. That kind of works, actually. Hold on, whoever said panes, you might be onto something. I like the panes. Because it adds like a kind of 3D bubbly effect. There we go. I like that a lot more, actually. Again, it's not perfect, like no Minecraft smoke ever is. But I like it. I think it looks cute. Didn't you have a burning house like a month ago where some of the glass was orange for burning? Yes. Yes. I like the way the panes look. I love how big this thing is. Yeah, the burning house is over here for people who didn't see it. I really like how it turned out. I even used honey in here. Here I'm using like purely gray glass, but this kind of like, this is trying to go for more of like a realistic smoky effect. And I feel like the look I'm trying to go for here is more like whimsical. Like not totally like fantasy, like I'm not going for like purple smoke or anything. But I like this one. I feel like this looks cool. All right, the only thing we have to fill out left on today's stream is this, and then I'm going to head out and go heat up some leftovers for supper. So I think we want to do some barrels. I'd like to, I like to do just a couple of cartoony ones. Again, I just said we're going whimsical, so let's actually try it. Try to go a little bit whimsical. A couple of cartoony barrels. And the next ones can all just be normal ones. That's fine. Doesn't bother me none. Okay, I have a conundrum because it should be in the corner here, but that kind of blocks off the... There we go, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna have a couple of pickles. And I want something like this, but that looks like it had wine spilled on it. So maybe if we go around here. And then we'll see if we can't get a middle point between these two. Not really. Oh. That's kind of cool. It's a bit silly, but I think it's kind of cool. Here we go. We can place some barrels like so. And I think these are going to be our empties. We can do a couple more in here like this. And I don't think there's anything I can do to look like a convincing tap on this barrel. I could do this. I guess it looks fine. I just have to delete these, otherwise it's going to go to the wrong wall. Anyway. Bro, just that quick fly past everything really shows how much you've done since the last world download. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing it. Maybe a light blue could go for it. Okay. Hold on. I could try to do something like this. No, it doesn't go for me. I feel like leaving it like pure. I'm still not sure about the. I think I think the gray works. I think the gray works. I just think I'm gonna change the smoke on the original building to match this one. And I feel like we should have. Oh, that doesn't really work well. Okay. Well, it's fine. We're just going to have a little bit of an extra storage area up here. Something like this. Jeez, that really doesn't work. Okay. Hey, no, hey, no. Okay, there we go. Took us a second, but we're getting there. Little ladder to go up, and some more barrels up here, maybe a basket too. I said it before, but the day Minecraft add baskets, I will be a very happy man. More baskets and more pots. That's what I think we need. Um, is that the first mycelium of Tretogor? We're not finding out. It do trapdoors behind the ladder. I could do that. I think I'll do oak to keep it really airy looking. No, I think that's fine. This tunnel is kind of weird, but it goes to like a really deep cellar, so I don't know. I didn't add any lights in here because I felt like it was probably better without it. But I can show you that there are lights around here to make it look brighter. This is another one of the things I talked about today in the video. I think I'm going to make it just a little bit brighter though. So you have like something nice and bright to go toward. I just realized there are no lights in here. So that's not really helping. There we go. Kind of fixes that hallway a little bit. Have you tried the micro blockhead data packs? I have not. I usually just go to the custom heads website. They have a bunch. That's how I got like those lettuces. Cabbages? No, I think that's lettuce. Anyway, that about does it for this little area here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need. We could use a cart. Okay, hold on. Help, reset. Okay, continue. No, our clipboard went away again. No. Uh, Restore default layout. Then my clipboard is back. I can unselect the trees and say that I want to select the wagons. I think a big classic wagon would really fit here. Whoops, what am I doing here? Oh, I have the rock tool open. Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on. The reason that the horse is gone is because the wagon is also gone. I'll do a parking area for the wagon, but it's not going to be here. There we go. Something like that. Just to sort of imply that a wagon is usually here. What we could do is actually make it be on this road. Taking some wine into the town. So if we come in through here, get rid of these. I think I'd like to do a big cartoony barrel here again. Gotta get rid of that, otherwise it's gonna break some stuff. What? Hold on. And I'm not going to summon a horse here because most of my carriages don't really have horses pulling them, like, actively. I'm just getting rid of these dirt path bits so that it looks more like a real Minecraft. Like I didn't place it down with a mod, basically. But that's where the horse is. Hello, I haven't been active recently in the Discord due to life and needing to work on my mod, but I decided to have a break. Hello, the Diamond Dolphin. Always nice to see you back. And I hope your real life stuff is working out. I fear the end of the stream is approaching. It is approaching. It is 6:30, and we have gone for 2.5 hours today, which I think is a respectable amount of time to stream. And I got some real life stuff to take care of too. Mostly eating right now, but my throat is gonna start killing me if I don't take a break. So this is where we're gonna end the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just gonna pop on some shaders here. End the stream with a nice view. If it doesn't crash my Minecraft. Well, it's certainly trying to. There we go. She's a beaut. Anyway, I think it is a lovely day to be standing over the Sarneville Vineyards with a castle in front of us, a town behind us, big cathedral on the hill. Thank you to everybody who came out. It was very nice having you all. Made it a lot more fun and interesting to work on these farmhouses, which get really tedious. But I will see you guys next time. I got nothing else to say. See you guys.